I'm Lindsay and I work with the Long Island Invasive Species Management Area, also known as LIISMA. LIISMA does work with invasive species on Long Island and Staten Island. Invasive species are any kind of living thing, plant, animal, insect, that has been brought over from another continent and is spreading rapidly here in our native ecosystem, so much so that it's actually causing harm to our ecosystems. Invasive species are usually brought over either because they're imported for ornamental purposes or as pets before people realize the negative consequences of them, or they're transported accidentally in shipping materials like wooden pallets. Invasive species are a particular problem on Long Island because we're located so close to New York City, which is a center for trade, and there's a lot of exchange going on all the time. When invasive species show up in this country, they often show up in New York City and on Long Island first. You might recognize some of the more common ones like English ivy, multiflora rose, Japanese honeysuckle. The list goes on and on and on. Invasive species are a really big problem on Long Island, and sometimes it's difficult to figure out where to even start. And that's where LIISMA comes in. Our organization helps coordinate a response to invasive species, and a big part of what we do is help resource managers prioritize which invasive species to go after first. We also provide advice on the best ways to get rid of invasive species and how to keep them from coming back. One of the biggest challenges that LIISMA faces is figuring out where these invasive species are, and especially learning early on when new invasive species are coming in. And so we really rely heavily on reports from the people that we work with, including our citizen scientists like you. A lot of folks come to us and say they'd really like to help report invasive species, but they're not that familiar with invasive species and they don't have the resources available when they're out hiking to look up whether something they're seeing is invasive. So today I'm going to show you a really simple and fun way to identify what you're seeing outside around you, record it, and share it with LIISMA. All you need is your phone and it's completely free. So let's go check it out. So today we're going to be using an app called iNaturalist. This is a smartphone app that basically lets you take a picture of any species you see, plant, animal, insect, fungus, really anything, and it'll ID that species for you and provide a lot of other information about it too, and we'll get into all of that. The first thing that you need to do to use iNaturalist is go to your desktop browser. It's much easier to make an account on your desktop browser. So go there and go to iNaturalist.org. And you'll come to this website, and all you have to do is click sign up. You'll come to this page here. Just fill out all your information, your email address. You need to pick a username and a password, confirm that you're not a robot, and click create an account. Or you can sign in with Facebook or Google. Once you do that, go onto your smartphone, go to the App Store, whatever App Store you use, and download the iNaturalist app and log in with the credentials that you just created. Once you do that, you're ready to head outside and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I've stepped outside here and I'm going to try out iNaturalist. So I've downloaded it, here it is. When you open yours up, you're going to get a login screen if you haven't made an account before. You can put in your login credentials. And then when you've done that, you're going to see your username up top and a list of observations. Yours will be blank because you haven't made any observations yet, but it's very simple to use. So I've got this yellow flower down here in front of me. So I happen to know that this flower is lesser celandine, which is a very widespread invasive species that we have on Long Island, and it's a really nasty species to try to get rid of. But we'll pretend that I don't know what it is, and we'll use that to practice identification with iNaturalist. So all you have to do is click this little camera button at the bottom, observe, and you get your camera, and I'm going to get in close. I'm going to get a really good picture. This is important for the app to be able to tell what you're looking at. So I'm going to get close up to the flower. It's a good clear shot, and I'm going to hit next. Okay. So now you'll notice that iNaturalist automatically fills in the date that you saw it and the location that you saw the plant. And now we're going to hit what did you see? And it's going to give me a list of options. And so the first thing it tells me is that it's pretty sure that this is in the genus Ficaria. And then it's going to tell me what the top 10 species are that it thinks this plant could be. So the first result is lesser celandine, Ficaria verna, and maybe that's what it is, I'm not sure. So I'm going to click on this little eye over here, and I'm going to get more information about lesser celandine. So, okay, it's a low-growing, hairless perennial flowering plant, dark green heart-shaped leaves. Okay, it does have bright yellow flowers. The petals are glossy. All right, so I do think that this is my plant here. And there's a lot of information about it. I can read all about it. And so I see here that some useful information. This plant is considered an invasive species and it's poisonous if ingested, so I know not to eat it and that it's invasive and I should probably get rid of it. There's more. If I click more on iNaturalist, I'll get to more information about it, but I think this is my plant, so I'm going to click lesser celandine. So I've got all my information and I'm just going to hit share. And it might take a little while to sync up. You can set this so that it can only upload when you are connected to Wi-Fi if you want to. So there it is, lesser celandine, and I can go back to it if I want to. It's now in my list of observations. These are all the observations that I've made. And I can go back and I can take a look at it. It shows me exactly where I found it, and so that's pretty cool. When you submit your observation to iNaturalist, your observation becomes publicly accessible to any naturalists who might want to use that to better understand Long Island's ecology. This information is really useful to LIISMA as we try to get a sense of the distribution of invasive species across Long Island and which new species are coming in. One of the cool things about iNaturalist is that it is a community of naturalists, and I just want to point out that in just the short time that I've been recording this video, we've already got a comment on our observation. So if you look next to our observation, you'll see this little message icon. So I'll check it out. And if I scroll down, I can click on the message icon here. And it looks like this other user, APGARM, confirmed our identification that this is indeed lesser celandine. Sometimes naturalists have little conversations on here with you about your observation, which is really cool. So that's just another cool component of iNaturalist. So those are just the basics of how to use iNaturalist. There's a lot more that you can do with it, so go ahead and check it out. You can take it on a walk with you, out hiking, or even just into your own backyard. I hope you have a great time finding some cool new species and learning more about the ecology on Long Island. Thanks for watching. Bye.